Hey everyone, welcome to the Relationships Show.
Nobody.
We are live with Eric. Hey everyone, welcome to the Relationship Smith Show. We are live tonight with Eric Violette. Correct? Did I pronounce that right? I didn't ask in the pre-show.
That's correct. Yeah.
I got it. I heard it in an interview and I took a mental note. Glad I got it right.
Thank you.
Eric, as you might know, I'm sure if you've seen the promo, that's probably why you're tuning in. Eric was the face of the Freecreditreport.com commercials. He's done a lot since then. We're going to touch on those commercials, of course, and we're going to get into what he's doing now. Prepare some questions if you have them. You could ask them in our chat. We'll pop the phone number up later when we have some more time to open it up to everybody else. But Eric, welcome to the show. Glad you can make it.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love having you here. In America, I think people have spent hours looking at your face in those commercials. So
yeah,
it's great to see you here. What I wanted to start off with is let's start at the beginning, right? What was your teenage life like? What were you like as a kid? And then you got into acting. What was your life like? Who were you before you even got into this world?
Interesting. Well, there's I would say two stages. When I was in primary school, I was a very different person. I was very shy, very good at school. And then at high school, I became more extroverted, and I became less good at school, let's say. And this is where I started to have interest into theater. And I did a show. I was playing Dracula in high school. Yeah, that was one of my first role, and this is how I wanted to become an actor. I was like, I want to do that. I really like that. But in high school, I was doing a lot of sports. I was playing basketball. I was very good at high jump. I went to the national competition here in Canada. So yeah. That's briefly
in Canada,
story.
didn't you by law have to play hockey?
It's funny. No. Maybe it should be a law. I don't know, but no, it's not a law. But I didn't. I've never played in a team. There was no arena in my area, so I didn't play. So yeah.
In America, we thought that's like just we play football here, you play hockey there.
Of course, the stereotype. Of course. Yeah. But I did play hockey, of course, but it was mostly outside with my friends. But I've never played in a team. Yeah.
Same with football for me. So we're on the same footing.
Yeah.
So you are a trained actor, right? After high school, you've got a degree in acting, correct?
I quit. Well, I went to the National Theatre School of Canada. It's a four-year program. It's a private school. It's the equivalent of a university class, I would say. But I didn't finish. I leave at the last semester. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw you went there. I'm like, a trained actor as well. And then so this has been a passion for a while. You didn't just like do a play and then decide I'm going to do some commercials when I have time. This is a course that you set for yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to be an actor. I did a couple plays in a different theater in Quebec. I did lots of commercials in Quebec, a couple movies, but I never had like a main play, let's say. But I did several main parts as in theater and plays.
Nice.
Yeah,
that is awesome. Yeah, because I in looking up your history, there's a lot there. How many commercials did you do before Free Credit Report?
The Free Credit was my first gig ever, I think. Yeah, it was my first gig, the very first series of commercials, the pirate one, the Dream Girl, and the one in the car was my first gig as an actor. And
were those all shot on the same day?
2 days. We shot.
Or it's not the same day, but it's on the same the same gig. Like they knew there were going to be 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and I interrupted you before. You were going on to, what were you going to say? If you remember, if I didn't.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, we can go on.
About getting that job, I think.
We're good at that.
Oh, about getting that job. Well, I did a lot of commercials afterwards. I think that's where I was going. For I did a lot of commercials in Quebec as well, probably more than in the United States. I don't know how many commercials I did, but I don't know. The casting director really liked me. Uh, I don't know, maybe 35, 40 commercials, something like that. I was in a lot of commercials. I
That's
have,
amazing.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome. So he would
yeah,
just keep requesting you, like, I don't know, we're putting him in this one.
yeah, yeah. Well, I always did the audition,
Yeah, of
but
course.
I was, just loud. We like this guy, and let's use this guy.
That's
I did lots of different products in Quebec, in different commercials in Canada as well. Yeah, it's
so.
great.
In an interview I read that I saw with you, you said that you almost forgot that you had done this commercial when it aired. When it aired, like there was a time between, obviously there, but a longer time between, I guess, recording and it airing, or before you realized it was going live in America. Were you really surprised, like, to find out, what had happened with this commercial?
I was really surprised. I was working on a play in Mont-Laurier. It's pretty far up north in Quebec. A lot of snow. A lot of. I was doing a gig over there just after we filmed the commercial, and it took a little while for them to edit the whole thing and create the whole campaign. And I did a road trip in the spring that followed the release of the commercials, and it started at the border. The guy at the border recognized me. Like, he looked at my passport and he looked at my face and he said, "Are you that guy in the Freecreditreport.com commercial?" I say, "Yeah, that's me." Hey, and he calls his friend on the other in the next booth. "Hey, that's the guy from the Free Credit Report commercial." "Okay, you can go, sir." Amazing. And this is how I, realized. Okay, it's airing. It's on the television, and I did a road trip for about I think it was 3 4 weeks, and everybody was recognizing me. I would go out at the groceries. I would go out anywhere. I was like, and everybody's like, "Hey, you're the guy in the commercial." Oh my god! It's like I never expected that, and I don't think they expected that. The commercials to be so big. To be honest,
Right.
like you want, everybody works for the campaign to be successful, but you know,
That's lightning in a bottle. Like, you do the
exactly,
greatest commercial
yeah,
in the world, and people don't care. You do
yeah,
a
yeah,
commercial and don't think it's going to be great, and then like, it takes off. So yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so that trip had to be pretty surreal for you.
It was intense.
Let me
It,
ask you something, and this may be going too far, but did you use your sudden spike I'm trying to not, let's call it fame, your sudden spike in fame? Did you use it to your advantage? Free drinks, backstage pass, dates with women, anything? Did you?
One time, it was in
Okay,
New Orleans. It was
good place for it.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And I was with this girl that I had just met, and I used it like, hey, can, because there was a place where we wanted to hang out. It was locked. And that one time I asked the guy, the janitor, like, "Hey, can you help us out? And we just want to hang out in a quiet place because there was music everywhere. It's New Orleans, and we just wanted something like, peaceful." And the guy he recognized me as like, and I gave him a little tip, and that was it. I don't know. Maybe I could have made it without my face being recognizable. Who knows? I don't know. But
It didn't
that's the
hurt.
only time that I remember, and it's yeah. There you go. I don't do that
No,
very
no,
much,
like,
but it's to be honest, I did try it once, and it worked. So yeah,
that's awesome. I know I would have been worse myself.
yeah.
That's why I'm glad nothing I've done has ever taken off, because like they say fame and power doesn't change you, but I'm pretty sure it would change me.
It changed
Um,
me in different ways. Of course, there's always like the ego takes more place, and it's it's a struggle because you disconnect yourself from well, in my experience, I disconnect myself a bit from my heart and from the real stuff. Then you want more. You want to be, I wanted to be an actor, so I wanted to, yeah, I want this to happen, and the ego is like, yeah, you deserve that, and you create that persona around this, and I'm no exception. But I'm grateful that I had really good friends, good family, just to bring me down to earth, and it's
So,
important.
how did this affect your relationship with your friends? Let's start with your friends. Did you suddenly have more friends trying to that, like, came out of the woodwork? Like, hey, I know Eric. Because, well, first off, let me ask you this: these commercials did not air in Canada, correct?
Not really, unless you had like a plan for the television from the United States. So
Yeah.
it never affected my relationships, my friendships, because I was, it was different world in the United States and Quebec.
Yeah.
But totally, when I was in the United States, I could see the some change of behavior sometimes when someone will recognize me, or I would see someone, and then they would realize that I'm this guy in the commercial, and something changes a little bit, and it's because of that. But in my day-to-day life, it didn't affect me.
I'm guessing you always loved music. Did being in this band, sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
um, did that it re-inspire you or inspire you to do more music? Because you were associated with music at this point. Was there any like time where it's like, you know what, I'm going to do music more too?
Of course. Well, I was already playing music. This is always something I
Oh,
already
okay,
wanted to do. But the fact that I was recognizable as a musician, as a singer, even though it's not my voice in the commercials,
right.
it did kind of triggered something. Oh, maybe I could use that. Even though I already wanted to do that, it kind of gave me a little bit of a boost, let's say. Like, okay,
Yeah,
let's put a little bit more, because I can, my music can be recognized. I can be recognized as a musician. It's going to be easier for me to make a living out of it. So let's push it. Uh, so, yeah,
yeah. That's an incredibly honest answer.
yeah,
I can't, like, to know, like, yeah, of course, I was. People saw me as a musician, and I wanted to be a musician. So, thanks. I mean,
yeah,
um, yeah, and I see the equipment back there behind you, and I know,
yeah. It's
um,
from the commercial. That's true.
commercial paid for it. Yeah,
So they pay
no,
for my Moog, my Nord. This one I got last year though, and this one too. But all my recording equipment was paid for with
Okay.
the free credit report money.
Sorry to interject. We were slightly talking gear before
Yeah,
we went live. I need to ask, because as a
yeah,
musician, like there's that piece that you always really want to get, that it's always out of reach.
yeah.
And then obviously we talked to Nord right out of the gates. Which piece was that for you? And I'm sorry, Nathaniel, I'll apologize ahead of time for steering us in a different direction, but I just got to know.
no. Let's go music. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What was the? Can you repeat the question? So what is the piece that it's
Yeah, what was
unreachable?
the first thing, like, you got, for, to start your next project from this? You said this was the commercials were like a kind of a, reinvigorating. What was that piece then that, you got? You're like, this is gonna speak to me and on my next project.
I think it's the recording preamps, because
Okay.
I had my guitars, I had my Nord stage, I bought the Moog,
Yeah.
and to be honest, the Moog, sorry, Moog, I
I
bought
call
it,
it a Moog
but
myself.
okay, but I never used it really until 2 years ago, because I'm starting to dig more into electronic music, and I'm digging deeply into synthetic sound. But when I got the money from the commercials, the piece of gear that really like brought my game to the next level, it's my recording equipment. It's not even an instrument. It's the preamps, the analog preamp, analog compressor, the tube microphones that I was not able to buy. because these machines cost a shitload of money. And that really brought my game to the next level as a musician, like learning how to record, learning how to produce, how these machines work, because it's a lot of, it's a lot of buttons, it's a lot of stuff you need to understand before you do that. So yeah, does it answer your question? I think Zaz has left.
Yeah, I think that he something must have happened to his internet there, I think.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I hope it answers his question.
Like,
yeah, that's the recording gear.
yeah,
It's exactly, because an instrument. Yeah, I had my instrument before, but the recording gear is something that was unreachable. Like, it's thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's like, I really wanted that microphone, a Neumann microphone with a tube in it. I wanted a compressor with tube in it, and like all that stuff is like tens of thousands. And when I got the money from the commercials, it's the first thing I did. I went to a store. I spent 2 days there, and I tried every preamps, every microphone, and the people were like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? He's never gonna spend that amount of money. And I bought a shitload of gear, and everybody was like, what the fuck? Who's this guy? Like, and it was one of the most awesome day of my entire life. I spent 2 days there. I read on the internet about all these pieces of equipment. I learned everything I could learn about them to choose properly with the kind of music I wanted to do. That was a profound experience. And when you receive from life, and that you receive the validation from life that you can in a way that you can pursue a dream. For me, it was receiving that money, that abundance, to then put that abundance in the direction I wanted to take. The feeling that you get from that, it could be money, it could be anything, but for me it was getting the money to align myself towards my goal with music. It's a very powerful experience, and I wish that every human being can have this kind of experience. Either it's money or whatever, but it's like your heart just opens up, and like, yeah, life is awesome. Yeah, let's do some fucking stuff that we love, and that we're gonna share with the world and make the world a better place and makes us feel happier. And like, it's awesome.
I know that feeling. Not as well as you, because I haven't quite got to where. But no, I love that. I love the fact that you took. You put, first off, you did the time to do the research and to get hands-on experience, and then you went, instead of just like, well, I'm going to have tons more money and I'm going to do whatever I want, and if I don't like it, I'll buy something else. You made a plan, you actioned on it, and you got where you wanted to be, and that had to be a major boost in the satisfaction that, like, yeah, I did the right thing for me, and with the money and all these things just kind of got you where you wanted to be, and now you're able to do the music you want to do and learn the way you want to. So I totally understand that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Zaz is back. I don't know if you heard my answer, but anyway.
I'm so all right, guys. We're gonna start the show from the beginning. Josh, let's hit the music. Let's go. Boom. Sorry about that, guys. It's
no
my internet is subpar today. So
okay.
Hey, as a way to bridge those two parts of the conversation, by the way, I got another question here, which is, before we jumped on, I think before Zaz was in, actually, we were talking about another commercial that Hammer had seen there with the a pedal that you had, that you'd done a commercial before that. Now, you said that you had made that as part of a contest.
Yeah.
Was that before or after you had done these other commercials?
Oh, it was after. It was. I think I filmed that. I filmed it's the Game Changer plasma pedal, distortion pedal. I filmed that.
It looked very pretty. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I filmed it 4 years ago. I had just bought my Blackmagic Ursa G2, my cinema camera. Yeah. I love cinema. Is another thing that I love a lot, and that I've learned how to tweak the buttons. But it's the first thing that I filmed. I I love their product, and I saw on their website, oh, we're doing a big contest. Make a video with the pedal inside that shows how much you love the pedal. And if you use the song of the Twin Peaks, the TV show, if you use the song, we give you more points. So I was like, okay. So I did that commercial. I filmed it and scripted it and edited it and make the color and everything. Recorded the
I will
music.
tell you, I thought it was it came off as a highly produced commercial. In that, I thought there was a crew behind the camera.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. You did a great job. And
I don't
want to step on them, but they should have. You should have won, right?
I think so. Thank you, Nat.
Yeah,
I was so. Well, actually, I said it. I was the only one. It was me, but a friend of mine helped me for a couple shots. Jan Chevalier, if you see me tonight, thank you, Jan. But yeah, it was. Well, thank you very much. It's funny because I didn't win, but a couple months after, they released a new video with like a preview of the commercials I filmed. And they said, oh, that was the winner 3 months ago. Check out this video. And I wrote like, I didn't win. Why do you say I win now? And they're trying to promote their product with my video, but I didn't win. I was a bit confused. It left me a little bit like, it was weird.
Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
At least send you another pedal or something, or one of their prototypes of something else, right?
They sent me a T-shirt. I wear it.
Hey, I wear T-shirts of things I love too. So actually, I wore this shirt. My Hunker Down shirt is another Canadian that I'm a fan of. He does stealth camping all around Canada.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wear this shirt tonight. It's Canada night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll look it up. Hunker Down.
Only if you like. He pretty much like. I don't want to get too far off track here, but yeah, he just camps in weird places. One of his most famous places, he camped in a traffic circle overnight.
Oh wow,
that's
interesting.
Yeah.
Is that like, camping or is that just like setting up and just I'm taking a nap here now? Really?
Overnight nap.
I've camped in many of buses when I was hungover. I mean, it's that's what we're calling camping.
He always cooks a meal. That's camping,
awesome.
Right?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, I love your love of music. And do we have anything to play now? Do we have any clips ready, Josh, or are we still working?
Working on it still here. So yeah, give me just.
That's cool. That's cool.
There,
no,
please.
I want people. I do want people to know that you are not just the face of a product in a commercial that's aired, in America. There's a lot more to you. And I want, I definitely want to expose the world to who you are now. You're still doing commercials, right? Like you have done others since. I saw a reel of yours where you had a couple others in there. Yeah,
but I stopped about 2 or 3 years ago. I called my agent and was like, I don't resonate as much. It was nice. It's not. It's a good. It could be lucrative. It's but in Quebec and Canada, it's not the same deal as in the United States, of course. But I kind of didn't want to do it anymore. So I just asked her like, if you get a request for a role or something that is more consistent, I would be happy to do so. But for commercial, I think I'm done. I did a lot. Okay. So, I focus more on my music and my videography and everything.
And the creative.
Yeah, exactly. I prefer to be. I don't need the money to be in a commercial. It's nice to be on a set, but I'd rather spend the time here with my camera, with my gear, creating something that is more personal, and I emancipate myself by acting in my own stuff. And for me, it's the perfect world. I'm lucky enough to do that, so it's great.
That's amazing. You're doing what you want to do right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
Yeah, well,
you know?
I mean, I still have a day-to-day job that allows me to do that, but I also record
Mhm.
artists and I take gig as a videographer as well, and but I mostly do what I want, like most of the time. So that's great.
Do you get to play out and do shows too? Or are you a stage musician as well?
Yeah, I did a couple shows last summer. Last summer we did only one, and the previous summer maybe two. I don't do as much, but something is about to emerge from my studio, and it's not
Can you give
ready
us more
yet.
info? Can we?
Yeah,
we-
it's.
I know I said I wouldn't push, and I'm not going to. But
no,
anything
it's
you
all
got?
right. It's all right. It's a project. That I've been working on for a couple years, and it's going to be released in, I hope so, 2024. And then I would promote myself more to do shows, and because I do shows, I sing, I perform. It's just I don't do it as much because I don't have what I want to share to the world yet. It's coming, but the past 2 years, 3 years, I've been studying a lot electronic music,
Mhm.
and I was digging a lot into synthesizers, digging a lot into like the whole I have a beatbox right there, but this thing is more than a beatbox. It's a DAW. It's a recording thing. It's a synthesizer, and there's a learning curve to that machine. Same thing with the Moog. I had this synthesizer for 15 years, but I was just using the presets, to be honest. But now I know how to create my own sound, and I think I'm ready to soon share what my experience was. I don't know how to say that, but like something is about to emerge. I have more experience. I know what I want. I know my sound more. I know what I want to share as a person in terms of lyrics, and it's gonna be different because I've evolved as a human being, and it's about to take shape. So therefore, when it's released, I will do more shows. It's a long answer, but
No. I love the fact that like how realized you are in your own head. You know
yeah.
what you want the final thing to be. You
Mhm.
know what this is. You've gotten to that point. You've put all this work. Again, it's like what you did with the music equipment. You did the
Mhm.
research. You did the time. You put the time in. You gave it the effort. This is what you wanted to be, and it seems like this is a pattern with
Yeah.
you and your life. And again, we could go back to relationships on this. You think about it. You do the research. You know what you want. You go for it. And the one question I have for you around that is, will you please come back on the show and when you're ready to do that and let us talk to you again as it goes, or even
Of
after
course.
you
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
definitely, I want to see. And now you have me hooked. I'm now gonna follow. I already follow you, but I'm definitely interested, and
Yeah.
I want to see this journey too.
Mm. I would be happy to do so, Nat.
Awesome, you're awesome. Speaking of bands, I did want to go back. I had one question on my sheet that I didn't get to ask. The band in the commercial, were
Yeah.
you guys, you've done so much work together then. Did you become friends? Are you friends now?
Yeah, they're really nice people. Mario and
Okay.
Vincent. Mario and Vincent, if you're there, hello guys. We don't see each other right now, but we during the commercial we did a couple jam sessions together. I did share some plugins with Vincent, some phone calls, and talking about gear and stuff, and
Are they real musicians as well then?
Oh,
I
they're
assume after if you
really good
did jam
musician.
session.
Really, way better
Okay.
than me. Like it's like Vincent is a awesome guitar player. Mario is a drummer, man. He's a really good drummer. He plays for like Celine Dion and stuff like that in Quebec and big names.
Okay.
They're very talented. I'm like a self-taught musician, but these guys are like trained musician big time. Yeah.
Yeah, I had because you're I am the typical person. The lead singer is the band. Also because my
Yeah.
my love of vocals And I wish we'd have got all of you on. That would probably be impossible to do on the same night, but I had no idea. But it's also cool that you guys are still friends and still hang out. I guess when they did they did another round of commercials later on, I guess it was easier to get you guys to come back at that point. Like, yeah, I want to hang out with those guys.
Yeah, of course. It's always filming those commercials was a very nice experience. It was like just the human aspect of it, all the people that I've met through that. It's nice to get like the good money and like was able to get my recording gear, but like the human aspect was really nice. And it's nice to be honest, it's nice to be in front of a camera and there's a big set and you're doing your thing and you're the center of attention. It's also really, really cool. It's I enjoyed it very much.
So those were, for the most part, very, very catchy jingles. How many times did you have to do a take of you? Either, I'm sure you sang, you didn't just lip sync, right?
I was singing.
I know it's not your
for
voice.
Real. It's not my voice. No.
Yeah. No, it's not your voice, but you were singing for real, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one's easier than the other. But how many times did you have to film that? Like just for one commercial?
Wow. Good question.
Dozens, hundreds?
For sure more than 100. Because all the angles,
Yeah. And they're choreographed, especially I remember the girlfriend in the bathroom one. Like that's choreographed.
Yeah.
There's movement of the camera, of the actors, of you.
There's a storyboard.
The question I have after that.
Yeah. There's a storyboard for each commercials. Sorry, maybe there's a little. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just saying it wasn't just a camera in front of you. This is a whole thing going on. It's not, there's multiple moving parts. And I don't think, unless you've been near a movie set, you don't realize just how much is involved with doing that. So 100 takes, knowing especially with all that movement. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then they want to see what take even works best of the ones that they planned and storyboarded. Like, try it like this. How did you get that song out of your head? Because just doing the research for this interview, I heard it enough that it's in my head every day at least once now, and I can't get rid of it again.
Oh, they're still in my head. It's forever. It's never gonna leave me. Dude,
it's in there.
It's because I gotta rehearse, I gotta learn everything, and then people sing me the song, and we film.
And then every time you run into an American, they're like, "I'm not even gonna start it." Like they have to bring it up. And you're like, just.
Of course, it's in my head. It's in my heart too.
Hey Josh, did you get the speaking music? His current stuff. You got a current video up?
I do have one ready here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, did I spoil it?
No. We had talked about it while you were gone. By the way, Zaz is the person we pick on the most throughout every show. In case we ever need to just throw a punch at somebody, it's him.
Okay. He's
in another state from us, so.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah, he can't come and take care of it.
The soft target.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I have this problem with earworms getting stuck in my head. There are certain shows I can't watch because the intro music is just too catchy.
Yeah,
like it won't stop. Just like my brain keeps singing it over and over. But yeah, I just wondered if you had that problem doing the commercials too. It's just, not one more time. I can't do it.
Well, when you go to sleep after a day like that you film the song, you hear it so many times, it's a bit insane. It's like you go to bed and like it's there, it's rolling. When you do some people work like in a shop and they do like the same movement all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've done that. I did that kind of job.
Yes.
And you get into a weird mental zone when you go to bed, and it's always there. And it's about the same feeling, but except it's a music playing in your head. But
I hope it goes away for you sometime. Like I appreciate what it did for you, but like if it's anything like what I experience sometimes, I just hope you're like, oh, I forgot about how to. You just have a fresh take on it someday. I don't want to jump on Josh, right? 'Cause I had another. I'm going to go back to my notes. Actually, is what I'm going to do. I got kind of thrown off by that answer. It was so actually, yeah. I didn't expect. I expected like, no, there's this trick us actors use to get this out of your heads. We're like, no, it's still there.
I'm just thinking the pleasant version of that. Like I remember, especially as a kid, you go out to the beach and you float in the ocean for a couple hours. And then when you lay down that night, it still feels like you're kind of floating.
Yeah.
And it's very relaxing. That's the good version of that. You know?
Yeah. That's the good version of it. Yeah.
So before we move on to the new music, because this was actually my lead-in question for it. People usually handle being an iconic character in one of two ways. Either they completely disassociate themselves from it completely, including doing very different roles, or they lean into it and they're like, yeah, I'm that person, or I'm the person who played that character. It's great to meet you. What would you say your method of handling that is? So like William Shatner ran from being Captain Kirk for decades, and now he leans into it and he has fun with it, even does produces movies cashing in on that. But like, did you run from it? Like, I'm not that guy, stop that. And then you found a peace with it? Or would you just like, yeah, I'm the guy who played that?
I think I'm really at peace with it. I never ran away from it. I almost got a couple opportunities in the United States because of that, and they wanted to do like, there was a reality show they wanted to do with us. There was also another sitcom. They wanted to base the sitcom on the character from the commercials, and I was ready to embrace it. It didn't work because of my French Canadian accent. They didn't want to take the guess. Yeah, but I was okay with that. I mean, and to be honest, it was a long time ago. I'm 42 years old, and I was like 24 back then. And to me, it's just like, yeah, I did that commercial, and it's just great. I'm totally in peace with that.
All right, cool. Yeah,
I'm not like, I want to escape. Of course, sometimes when I post a new video that is like from the deepest area of my soul and my heart, and there's a guy writing, that's the Freecreditreport.com guy. Like, shut up, man.
I see the comments, and even I'm angry. I'm like, just can you let this person have a current life? Like, you don't have to keep nailing them down. Like, they're just dragging you back in time 2 decades, and nailing you to this spot in time. Like, that's you. Yeah. Like, I did that. You're right, but it almost seems brutal.
You know the singer from Tool, Maynard?
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He said something like that I found very interesting. He said, even if I write the deepest lyric, people will get where they at in their life, right? So I'm not angry at this person because this is where he's at this life. He doesn't want to go beyond. He's just stuck to the like commercial, famous, funny. He doesn't want to go where I'm trying to bring him or her, whatever. And that's okay. It's just the way it is. So I'm more at peace with that since I saw Maynard in this interview saying that. And it's like, yeah, okay. He doesn't want to see what I'm trying to expose in that song or that video. He's just not there. And it's okay. It's just the way it is. But of course, sometimes I wish I would get more of that. Oh, that's really interesting what you do right now. It's way better than those commercials. Not way better in a way that I'm better, or it's just deeper. It's very meaningful. It's nice, and it's nicer for me to receive that because it comes from my soul, my heart, and in a more connected way than playing in a commercial, lip syncing a song for a company that is a bank in the United States, which is not even my country. You know what I mean? Like the connection from what I do is, it's not the same thing. So
if you were writing a segue to play your latest music, which I'm going to go ahead and say it is better.
Thank you very much.
I mean, part of what you did is a part of pop culture history for me. part of what you're doing now actually has meaning to me. I've watched multiple times, and Josh, I'll let you take it from here if we're ready.
That is who you are. That is who you are. Fragile piece of iron cutting the edge of pain, a sun ray piercing the shadows of your soul. That is who, that is you, that is who you are. That is who, that is you, that is who you are. A breeze of fresh air upon the smell of impurity, a taste of heaven in the realm of fear. That is who, that is you, that is who you are.
I want to pause it here because if people want the rest of the song, they should go to Eric's channel and listen to it there.
They very much should. Yeah, there's some great stuff over there.
Yeah, I love that. You saw. I don't know if you saw my face, but your vocals, whenever you build up, like it's beautiful. You are a fantastic vocalist.
Oh, thank you.
Just throwing it out there. It's a blatant little suck up, but I love good vocals. And yeah, you the first time I heard that, I had that smile, and I still have it. Like you're still, you know what I mean? It works through replays. So
thank you very much, Nat.
On the music thing, you recently posted something about Spotify making some changes, and I did want to touch on it because again, it's a relationship show, and this is bad news for relationship with a lot of musicians, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's nothing is white and black, but I know Spotify is having problem making profits, whatever, and Tidal as well, and all these companies, but I don't want to go into like who's to blame. It's, of course, we want to, as an artist, you want to be rewarded for what you do, and there's a lot of positive aspect into that relationship with Spotify. We're able to have streams all around the world. Our music is we have the chance to be played in so many places now, but to receive like 0.0003 cents per streaming is a bit ridiculous. Like there's artists in Quebec, like big names, it doesn't affect them very much, but like everyone, like if you're not a big name, it's hard to make a living and out of music. I personally have to do another job just to make sure everything is okay. So it's not easy. And when I learned that Spotify is gonna stop paying for this, well, they're gonna put basically Spotify is gonna stop paying the streams that has less than 1,000 listen, and they're gonna put that money supposedly and give it to the people who have the artists who has more than 1,000 streams. They also went to court with Amazon to pay the artist less money, which I think is disgusting. Who's to blame? Is it Sony Music? Is it all the distributors? Is it Spotify? It's a big politic game. But the only thing I know and that I want to express to the people who are listening, Tidal is paying their artists 3 to 4 times more money than Spotify is. So I just want to encourage them to listen to their music on a platform that pays their artists well. Bandcamp is the best way to do. Bandcamp, if you pay for the artist's album, it's always the best. But Spotify, yeah, it's cool, playlists and everything. But Tidal does playlist as well. Apple does it, and just to, it's just a vote of where you put your money. It's a vote. So if you want to put your
Yeah.
money and encourage the artist you like, just go on Tidal. That's it.
I go out of my way to find new artists. I do it on Amazon with my books. I like to at least 2-3 times a year buy a book from a first-time author who isn't, like they just put a book out, self-published or otherwise, to give them, and these companies, including YouTube with this channel itself, they only want to promote the people that are already doing very well. And no matter what I do to go to them and say, I like up and coming things. I like to be at the top of the wave. I'm willing to wade through some people that may be putting something out there I don't like or that isn't formed completely. They just make it so hard to find new artists that it's almost their own fault, I think, that where we see the same thing over and over and over again because they know it's a reliable money stream. And I get that their job is to make money, but I wish they had a way for us to find new or upcoming or a brand new release song that doesn't already have 1 million views because they have a Twitter campaign that is astounding. And that disturbs me as a creator in some form as well, that I just want to put good stuff out there. And it seems like they're holding me back by not even recommending me or giving me that chance.
Yeah. There's a whole I have a it's a bit philosophical, but the world is always a reflection of who you are in a way. And I think that people are comfortable with their old classic, they're comfortable with their pop song, which are using the same 4 chords. And people are comfortable with that. And to be quite honest, I am also comfortable with some of the music I listen to. And people don't necessarily want to explore new avenues because it would mean to pay attention. It would mean to stay present to something new. And it's hard to do that for most people, I think, especially since we don't have a lot of concentration time anymore because we're all blasted with information, with new stuff. It has to be new. It needs to be exciting. It's just, you see it everywhere. The way some documentaries are edited, I see it the way the music is built. It's always there to hook you on a new thing and keep you on, and it's part of the industry's fault, but it's also the fault of everyone. And I include myself. There's some stuff I'm comfortable with, and I like to stay in my comfort zone. But as soon as you try to expand and try different stuff, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but you're going to reach new spaces within you and in your life that will make your life so much more exciting. But people not necessarily want to have an exciting new experience, so they just feed with whatever they've being fed with. The industry, the music industry. It's just 4 chord songs, the old classic. Yeah,
I agree with that. I feel like some of that's lost with the brick and mortar shops, especially when it comes to music, because back when there was the brick and mortar shops, it wasn't just the music you were experiencing. It was the art that came with the album that you would get. There was less of a product being pushed in front of you as opposed to digitally now, but you would have this whole sifting through and seeing the artwork and seeing, what would go in it. And some of the albums were a bit of a surprise. You'd get thrown some live, in there as well. A lot more options and more mystery than there is to it now. Now it's you can even preview 20 seconds, and you couldn't do that back then. You're well, I hope this is good. So I feel that a lot.
I heard an interview with Trent Reznor and what's his name, the Rick Rubin, and Trent Reznor was describing his experience as a listener back in the days. He was listening to vinyl. By the way, I listen to vinyls now. But anyway, Trent Reznor is describing his experience. You know, he's putting an album, he's watching the artwork, and he doesn't know what they look like. He doesn't know who are the artists. He just listens to the music. Whereas now it's like, oh, how she looks like, how he looks like, the look of this person, and it's like it's a very different experience. The pop industry is way different, I think.
Yeah.
And I think Trent is right in that matter. It has changed.
You said, as human beings, we always project the power of God somewhere else. But I think we have all the power we need. We are the gods on this planet. We have power to decide whether we perceive good or bad things. For me, it's important that every human being feels like a god. Paradise is on this planet, and we have to build it. There's a lot of shit in this planet, but we have to decide how to deal with it. And I think that follows very closely along with a lot of the things you were just kind of touching on, that you've got to find where to get that power and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious, just because I've heard other people discuss things like this. There's another artist. Are you familiar with Watsky?
No, I'm not.
He was a kid that came up a bunch of years ago. I think his first video was "White Kid Raps Fast," and he was certainly all of that. But he has since become much more. He's a very talented guy. But there's a line in one of his songs that he says, "I thought I was an atheist." Or I was an atheist until I thought I was an atheist until I realized I was a god. And I've seen that attributed.
Interesting. I love that.
Yeah. I did too. And I looked it up, and
Yeah.
I saw it attributed to a number of places, but it plays that same idea to what you were saying here. And I found it very interesting. And so I'm curious, how have your thoughts on that evolved since you had that interview, and how else would you express that thought, or where are you with that now?
It's a big question.
Very
Huge. The biggest.
Relationship with God and spirituality. Well,
Yeah.
I definitely stand up to these words still today. I do believe that every one of us is a God. There's a God within. And I think humanity, and I include myself, I'm not like trying to be like above that, but we tend to give our power to the external, like to the government, to God, to the religion, and it's not my fault. But to own ourselves, to be responsible, it's not easy. It's easier to complain. It's easier, and I include myself. I complain, life is that, but our process on this planet is to become that God, become empowered, become the one who's able to react in a positive way to something shitty that is happening. It's our responsibility to respond to, maybe someone is in a lot of pain, and we can be a God and decide that, I'm going to put my pain aside a little bit and try to listen to hold space for that person. I'm going to try to be a God for myself. I don't want to maintain that negativity within me. So I'm going to try to be a God and just try to be this powerful being that I want to be. So it's our responsibility. I do stand by these words still today. My relationship with spirituality and God has evolved a lot since then. I've done a lot of different experiences, meditation experiences, also with medicinal plant like ayahuasca, a lot of experience also with psilocybin, and I did dig deep into that realm as well. So my relationship with spirituality has evolved for sure. And for me, everything I've learned in those experiences was to be present as much as possible. So I would just add this little spice into the equation, which is being present here and now. I'm very easily into the realms of ideas and fantasy, personally. And to be present is not something that is easy. And with all these
especially when the
experiences,
present. is sometimes so unpleasant. You know, looking at the news, you're like, I don't want to know more.
Exactly. And the pain of every kind of pain. But I realize the more I sit with this pain, the more I observe it, the more it dissolves, and the more I'm able to connect with it and make peace with it. And it's the same thing with it. I'm talking about pain, but it's also the same thing about like joy and everything, you know, and being present when there's someone next to you. It's like, don't like just put your phone away and just stay with the person in front of you. It's becoming hard because it's so easy to be distracted. Fuck. You go to a gas station and there's a fucking television showing you a commercial, like telling you that your life should be better with this piece of whatever bullshit they're trying to sell you. It's crazy. So
and it's gonna rain later.
I'm getting very passionate. So being present is it's also, well, I made a little video last weekend. I shared it. Nat saw it, but like about being present, and this is a video about me listening to a vinyl. You know, it's an old thing, vinyl. Who listened to vinyl? But being with a vinyl, it's as we were saying, like you stay with the album. You need to turn it, flip it over once in a while. You need to, you know, you stay with it. You don't skip a song because it's a mess. You need to open it and then
You gotta do
you
stuff.
don't skip. You need to listen to the song that you don't necessarily like, but you learn how to like it. And for me, spirituality is how you deal with the here and now. It's very concrete. It's there. It's not some esoteric. Yeah, I can go there. I've been there. Like I can go there. But like we're on this planet, and the way we express ourselves in this world is the way we manifest our presence into our body, into the beings and the nature around us and the people around us. And for me, that's the way it is. So yeah,
the Japanese have a word for that. It's called chinoyu. I'm going to mispronounce that, but it's the art of like taking it all in when you're making tea, the just taking your time, getting the herbs, sitting down, steeping the water, enjoying the entire process. Instead of just going out and just mash coffee out the door. You're opening the album. That scent that you get when you have that vinyl.
Oh, that smell.
Open the book and you're reading the literature, the work the artist put into it. Not just like, hey, here's an ad, buy 5 albums, get one free. You know, it's an actual,
I commented on Eric's post in that whenever I remember listening to vinyl, and every vinyl has a pop or scratch at a certain point in a song that you like. And when you hear that song on a radio or on another friend's stereo or on cassette or whatever it was at the time, especially, and it doesn't have that scratch or pop where it should be, it's not your song anymore. Like it's not your thing. It stands out as different from my album sounds this way. And it's not better. There's a flaw in it, but that flaw is what makes it awesome. And that's what I love about vinyl myself is that, and even like whenever I've once left a record of mine too close to a heater or heat source, and it kind of, then I had to melt it back, and forever it had some sort of weirdness going on with it. That album I still loved, you know, because it was mine. I owned that. And I think also that what you said about skipping the song that you don't like so much, you learn to like it. There are so many albums that I love from front to back, both sides, because of that style of playing. And nowadays, you know, like you get angry if you download a song that wasn't your like really good. It's like, oh, I can't believe. So yeah, I think you're in a fantastic place, and I love hearing it. So my question that I want to go to is,
sorry, I just want to say that was a great answer, and I appreciate it. It was it was a great quote, and I was very interested, and that's a great answer. Thanks.
Thank you, Josh.
It's fantastic. I'm glad you found that quote and brought it up. Because I personally have a very similar thought, and if you are religious, and God says God is everywhere and in everyone and in everything, therefore, even if you're religious, God is in you and you are God. You know, like there is part of you that is God, and you owe the world to give your best and to be a good person and try. And we all fail, but that doesn't mean you have to keep failing at being a good person. You can turn it around, and that's something I've brought along with me through all of my phases of it, looking at religions or reading on Taoism and all these things, that like you have something in you that lets you have the power to create and destroy. You have the power to take away pain. Maybe not all of it, but you can help always. And I've always tried to bring that with me. And that's kind of one of the bases for why we're doing this show, is to help in some way. If one person watches this and we help them, I'm happy.
Yeah, totally. We're here to
you know,
inspire
that's-
one another.
I just love where you're at. And I gotta ask, because you mentioned ayahuasca and a few other, were those experiences good for you? I'm curious myself, like at first, and are they now? Can you give us a little more info on that?
It was for me. It changed my life in a very positive way. I was suffering
Okay.
from anxiety, and it really changed my perspective on life, and it confirmed a lot of stuff that I was feeling within about the way I perceive life, and it kind of like said, no, you're right, Eric, continue in this path. And it's not necessarily for everyone, because it's a strong experience, and it can be very confronting experience, and I would not suggest to everyone to do that. If you're attracted, please do, and do your research, and but it definitely changed my life in a very positive way.
I think we've got a future episode.
Yeah.
No,
and if you do it, if you guys or someone is listening and he wants to try this experience, please be sure that you're in a safe place. Make sure that the curandero is someone you trust, that the environment is safe in all the ways, because there's a lot of people who improvise themselves as a curandero, and it's a powerful experience. You want to be in a safe place while you're doing it. This is very important.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. It would, and this is leading into what I want to get to next. We're running out of time, but I did want to play. You do Soundscapes now as well.
Yeah, it's my new thing.
Did that come from this experience? Because these are outside of like the last video. They're very different, and I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, it's a new
Is
project.
this part of that? Oh,
well, the new project, it's called Violettescape. It's very, very new. I've only released one video, I think, but there's more to come. If you guys love, by the way, I want to promote my Patreon. If you guys like what I do and everything, there's my Patreon
up on the screen.
Yeah, thank you very much. There's my Patreon. You can know everything I do, and I post a lot there. But it's definitely the how can I say that? Like the video that I make, the videos that I make with Violettescape, I don't want to say it's inspired by the medicine itself, by ayahuasca. But there's definitely a psychedelic aspect to it, and I do think that it's. Sorry, I'm thinking as I'm trying to answering the question, is maybe it has been inspired by the medicine. Maybe it's just when I
informed by it, opened you up in a different way that it enabled you to do some of this.
I was
in the
playing
way that it is now.
Because
Makes that big of an impression on you in your life, it's going to affect it's going to inform what you do. Yeah,
I guess. Like I was playing with the footage that I got from the drone with the music, and I made it something psychedelic out of it, and I guess I guess the medicine brought me there. Probably, yeah.
Anything that changes you, it's part of your life forever. And I tell
Exactly.
people that, like, when somebody dies,
Yeah.
if they changed who you are, they're always here. Like when you talk to them, they're in you. They are a part of you now because they made you who you are. Anybody who impacted you is like, even if they pass away, and I don't mean this even in a spiritual way. I mean, you are part of them. Like if you let somebody influence you, and that's why you should not let negative people in your life so much, because they'll make you negative. The positive person, things that somebody gives you is going to be with you. And remember that. And you could talk to them at any point, even if they're not, even somebody's alive, you could talk to them if they're not in the room. I try to live by that. Like that they are part of me. These two clowns down here on the screen with me are part of me, and it's a shame. I'm part Zaz.
Yeah. We're all one, as
Smile,
they
guy.
say.
Smile. Hey, and I wanted to lead this into the let's play. Can we play some of that video now and get the phone number up too in case somebody wants to call with the time we have remaining? I know we're already going over the hour, but I definitely wanted to promote this and in case anybody wanted to call in last minute here.
Yeah, let's take a look. Here we go.
This is my first time listening to it with headphones.
All right.
I don't know.
That's trippy.
I don't know what's
was
in
really
what is
cool.
in your head in creating this, but I got a very sci-fi fantasy feel
Yeah.
of going like I know the video is exploring a world in a way, but like I
Mhm.
got that like spaceships landing and there's a whole new vista sort of thing. Is it fair to ask you what you see in your head when you listen to it? Or is that it?
Yeah. It's well, when I started to do ayahuasca 15 years ago, it's gonna sound weird, but it opened a realm, let's say. It's hard to describe, but sometimes my dreams would mixed up with reality, or reality would mixed up in my dreams, and my dreams would mixed up in the ayahuasca ceremony, and my ayahuasca would mixed up with my dreams. Like it's like a veil, like I was taking off in a way. And during these vision, I would say in my dreams or in these ceremonies, I would see places that is not from like this realm, like other planets, and I don't know if it's past life or future life. I have no idea, but it was very very concrete, like as I see you right now. And sometimes I would like be doing my things, and I would have this vision that was coming. Is like, oh, I had a dream about that like 5 years ago, and it's still clear like to me what is like an it's like an impression of deja vu, but times 5, let's say. It's like,
Wow.
and sometimes these realms would look a little bit like what you see in this video. It's very hard to describe, but like it's like another planet, or like you say sci-fi, but it's definitely there. Like I would sometimes like fly on a spacecraft and see stuff that is a little bit like that, has the kind of vibe that what you saw. It's weird to say. I didn't want to say earlier about what inspired me because I didn't want to sound too weird. But if you ask me the question, it's definitely coming from a space that is. It's hard to describe. Like it's,
no, like, I love the answer. I love the answer. And here's the thing: I got what you were trying to communicate. Like I don't know, like. Yeah. Like I came back, I didn't know, but like the first time I heard it, that was my impression. Like I'm seeing a planetscape, I'm seeing something new,
Yeah.
You communicated that through music, just music, you know, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it blows me away.
I hope I
And
didn't
now I'm
scare it.
fascinated by these. Do you ever visit the same? I'm sorry to go off on this tangent, but do you ever
Yeah,
visit
sure.
the same place twice? I have dreams where like they're definitely a dream, but like there's rules and there's something, and I could go back multiple times throughout years of
Yeah.
these dreams.
Oh yeah, I
Is
do.
that what it's like?
Yeah, yeah. There's a
Okay.
couple places I'm like this being. We don't talk, but I communicate with these other beings. We are in this weird planet, this weird space, and then I would dream about that place, and then I would have a ayahuasca vision about that, and then I would be in front of a landscape as in my real life, and it would hit me hard that space again, and I'm there with them again. It's like, it's very strange. How, I don't know how to describe it. It sounds really weird. I don't know quite what to make out of it.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds no, I mean it sounds fun, but it also sounds like something, you know, that like, because I have similar areas of my life where sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, that's not real. Like that was a dream. Why am I thinking, you know, like, and it's usually when I'm really tired or you know, not concentrating on reality so much. And I get this, wait, no, that's a story I've been writing in my head for 2 years because I do a lot of authoring before I fall asleep. And I totally get what you're saying. There's nothing outrageous or weird about it. And it seems like this helps you get to that point even better.
Okay,
if
thank you.
indeed
'Cause
you're
it
not
is-
actually going somewhere else.
I don't share that with very often, to be honest. It's and thank you for saying I don't feel as weird now. Not that I feel
No,
weird. I feel normal, but it's just, I know for people to listen to that kind of stuff, it's a bit out there. But
yeah, no, I don't think it's weird at all. And I mean, there's an old way of thinking, and there's, you know, like I think I'm fascinated by this subject. I didn't know we were going to go here at all. But I'm fascinated by it, and I thank you for sharing it, because again, this is more information that might help somebody else out there, and it's another relationship to yourself that we've never really dug in on this show. How to better talk to yourself, because your brain doesn't work the way you think it works. You might hear your voice in your head when you think of thoughts, but there's a lot more going on, and I think that opens up some more of that. Is what, and again, I'm not a psychiatrist. But I think that's really what's going on, is you were talking to yourself better than you ever have.
there's a lot of
I haven't
guys
done
out
this
there.
experience, so I don't know.
Yeah, you say about like the way you talk to yourself and everything. There's a lot of guys that I've been following over the years, like Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton. They are scientists. They study that stuff, and they have a lot of very interesting to share. If someone is listening and want to go through that route, these guys, Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton. There's a couple that comes to my head, but yeah, the way you talk to yourself is definitely going to attract something. Like if you talk shit to yourself and you tell yourself you're a victim, and you of course you're gonna like attract a situation where you are the victim. You're gonna complain about life the way you talk to yourself in your head. But if you try to of course, it's easy to say stay positive and everything, but being positive in your head, and there's need to be a connection with your heart as well. Like, because if it's one thing to say, "Oh, everything's gonna be all right," and you're fucking nervous all the time, and and scared and anxious, it's not gonna change nothing. It has to be a connection from what you think and what you feel. That is the important part, and I totally believe that it can change someone's life. And I need to remind myself as well, because it's not something that it's a work in progress for me as well, like to change the way I think, to attract something, or to become something else. It's a challenge, because we're used to think a certain way, and society reminds us all the time that we need to think a certain way as well. Fuck society,
So let me tell you something. Ask you one last thing here, unless you guys have some questions after this. You today get to talk to yourself at the age of 19 what's the most important thing you could tell your 19-year-old self now?
Chillax, man. Fucking chillax. I'm telling the same thing today. Like, I'm telling myself every day, I try to remind myself, like, relax. And this is what I would say to my 19-year-old. Like, Eric, just relax. Learn how to breathe. Go out in nature. Don't take things too personally. Don't try to prepare for the worst all the time. Just relax. Be here, be now. Yeah, I'm still
Beautiful.
trying to say every day to tell myself, and my girlfriend reminds me every day. And
Every day in traffic, I have
Yeah.
to tell myself that, like, I don't care if that guy switched lanes when he shouldn't have. I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Just relax. Just
Yeah.
be worry about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a great lesson to keep throwing at yourself. Like, just relax. Like,
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah.
It's gonna be fine. You're gonna get home. You're
Especially-
gonna have dinner. Life's gonna be good.
Especially in a car. Like 3 weeks ago, I was the first to arrive in a very big accident about 2 kilometers from my house, and there was a guy. Anyway, I will not go into every details because it was a bit intense, but I was holding his hand and just trying to give him a lot of whatever I would have loved to receive in his position, I was giving him. And it was a very profound experience, and that made me realize how life is holding in a small little wire, like very small, and it can go like that. So especially in a car, you need to relax because there's so many people who are driving. Dude, man, it's gonna take you 30 seconds more to arrive at your destination. Just relax, be here, be now, enjoy the landscape, whatever, enjoy the music. Just relax, because you can be in this position, not feeling your legs with blood in your hands. Like, for what? Because you're not here, because you're not now.
Yeah.
Just chillax. And I would say that to every
I-
driver.
Yeah. I was driving through a southern U.S. state where they're not used to snow, and they had a fair amount of snow that evening. And I saw people that just went and slowed down, and I would drive a mile further and see them sideways on the side of the road. Thankfully, I don't think anybody was seriously hurt. But my thought the entire time I was driving, and I'm used to driving the snow, is I'd rather be late than not get there.
Totally, yeah.
It's okay to be late if that's what you have to do, but just get there. You owe it to the people you're going to not be in an accident. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to everybody who loves you.
Yeah.
And I wish more people, I don't know, thought about the next. Is it worth not being late? And you're never gonna, find something better than arriving. Just being able to show up on that door. Yeah, nothing's better than that. So 5 minutes early isn't gonna make it any better.
Oh no. Amen.
Well, we got serious real quick there, didn't we? Thank you so much, Eric, for your time. I am honestly so happy that you joined us, that we got to learn the real you, who you are now, what it was like then, but so much that you are a fully realized person. And I hope people watch this and get to see that you are a human being, that you have more going on than something you did a while ago, even though, like, it's to be fair, it was fun. It was awesome. We all enjoyed it, but you are somebody that has so much more. And I can't wait to see your future projects coming out. Again, follow that's the Patreon information right there. We'll have it in the after we edit this show and get it up, we'll have it in the down below in the little thing. So please support Eric, support up and coming musicians, support existing musicians that you love. Get out there and like Eric said, chillax, be present, and connect your mind and heart, because you've given a ton of great advice here. And I couldn't be happier with the fact that you stopped by and you've given us so much positivity and so much time of yours.
It was a real pleasure. Thank you very much, Nat, Josh, Zaz, and we'll see each other in the future. I am pretty sure. I'm positive about it.
Arbitrary media.